Now, you're not stuck with the built-in calendars or editing each of the resource calendars. You can actually create your own calendar, which could be quite useful if you have a total new working pattern that you then want to apply to a number of your resources. So how do we go about creating our own custom calendar? Well, firstly, we need to be in the project ribbon, change working time, just where we've been before, and up to the top right, you'll see there, create new calendar. Give that a click. I can give the calendar a name. So if I want to create a calendar that effectively is going to control my part-time availability, I could call that calendar part-time. I can either create this as a brand new base calendar, in which case it will inherit the default working time 8 till 12, 1 till 5, or I can make a copy of an existing calendar. And if there are any exceptions in those existing calendars, they will then be copied through to this part-time calendar. Now, as it happens, none of my pre-built calendars have any exceptions anyway, so I can just say create new base calendar, but the choice is down to yourself. Okay, that part-time calendar now becomes the one that I can edit, and I want to edit the work weeks. So I come into the work week section and double click. Sunday, that's fine, that's non-working. Saturday, still non-working, but Monday to Friday, so I can multiple select by shift clicking on the last one in the list. Set these days to these specific working times. Now, my part-time calendar is for people who need to organise childcare, therefore have to drop off at childcare or at school and then pick up afterwards. So they will not be starting work until 9:30 in the morning from 9:30 a.m. until 12. They'll only be getting half an hour break at lunchtime, so it's 12 to 12:30 p.m. and then they'll be finishing at 3:00 p.m. So much shortened day, and that will affect their Monday to Friday working hours, with Sunday and Saturday being non-working. If I say OK, we can see then that whatever day we click on, the working time is displayed here, 9:30 to 12 and 12:30 to 3. It's not displayed as an exception because it's not an exception. This is the normal working time for anybody whose base calendar is part-time. So then, say OK, that creates the calendar. It doesn't make anybody respond to that calendar, doesn't make anybody use that calendar. What I could then do is go to the resource sheet, so task pane resource sheet, and change any or some of my resources. Instead of using the base calendar as standard, it could use the base calendar as the part-time one. Part-time, notice that as soon as I make my project manager part-time, he becomes over allocated because he's a very busy person. I could make the electrician part-time and maybe even the joiner part-time. So because I've effectively reduced the amount of availability of each of these resources, that has had a knock-on effect to my project, certainly to the project manager. If I go back to the Gantt chart, I can then see I now do not finish the project until November the 23rd, instead of previously somewhere near the beginning of November. I've also got over allocation problems, but we've already discussed how we could deal with those when we had over allocations when they were working a full day. So this is a brand new calendar, custom calendar. So we go to project, change working time, create new calendar. That new calendar will then need to be told what hours to work, and then I need to tell which resources to be based on that new calendar. If I need to edit the calendar, I come back into change working time. I choose that new calendar, which is called part-time, and then I make any edits. So any edits to the work week or any edits as in any exceptions to the work week, which is where, as we've already seen, we put out holidays or any absences that are affected or affecting that particular calendar. So in the case of the resources themselves, we put in individual holidays. In the case of the part-time calendar, we may just need to put in public holidays because even though they're working not all of the day on a public holiday, they still get that day off. So that's adding a new calendar. That calendar is then applied to individuals within your project. That calendar is only available within this project. If we want to move the calendar so that we can see it in other project files, then the best option will be to copy that part-time calendar into the global template so that then all future project files have that same calendar. And we do that quite simply by going to File, Organizer, choosing the Calendars tab. There's my current file, my kitchen. There's my calendar, part-time. There's my global.mpt, so the global template. And I can simply copy and that will copy the part-time calendar across to the global template, which then all future projects that I create will then have that part-time calendar as an option. If I no longer require part-time calendar, I can select and delete from here, and it will remove it from my kitchen. Calendar utility was used by projects. All occurrences of calendar part-time will be replaced by the standard calendar. So all of those resources that I said can use the part-time calendar now cannot. They will use the standard calendar. Okay, and I go back in and I find that I'm now not over allocated because we've gone back to being controlled by the standard calendar. So we're working a fuller week. So that's your own custom calendar with its own working time that can then be used as the base calendar for any number of your resources.